I'll tell you what, it looks like it's gonna rain. But it doesn't matter because we're about to bring the thunder in this workout. So I just climbed above the little hamlet of Prioritises on top of the mountain here. It is a mountain. It's nearly 250 meters above sea level because I see a fair way around here. But my climb is just down in this little valley. We can't quite see it yet. But yeah, it's just down there. Those local viewers will recognize this area because there's like 5 roads down there and they all go different directions. So we're headed towards like Valindra, but this road itself is actually a road to a farm. Well, technically a dead end, but this actual section is smooth, very quiet. It's actually like a really nice climb, albeit really short, but definitely worth doing if you're in the area and you're looking for a savage climb to do intervals on. Do you know what it kind of reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of the old shoe that the National Hill Climb Championships was on a couple of years ago. So I think I'm gonna have a headwind up here, so we'll see. The climb could end up being more like 3 minutes, but it doesn't matter. If it's 3 minutes, it's 3 minutes. If it's 2.5 minutes, we'll figure it out. We'll adapt the session to fit. The motivation is the climb, so I'm adapting the session to fit this climb, but still aiming for around 15 to 20 minutes of accumulated time. Let's see how we get on. So I'm just going to run an errand now after that horrendous, filthy session on that climb. But I've just had a thought. I feel really good now. And if ever there was a way of making a session, an interval session, more enjoyable, actually I don't know if that's the correct word to use, but chances are that happens to you. It might be that you need a longer or a harder warm-up. You need a bit of intensity in there to just get you going. And today obviously I just rode 15 minutes until I started the first interval. I didn't do any intensity whatsoever, so it was lacking intensity and it was lacking duration. So just a tip, if you feel a little bit lethargic but you feel awesome after it, well, you feel better after it, then chances are maybe you need to do one of those intervals at a slightly lower intensity as part of your warm-up. Yeah, so later that day I actually mounted up and I headed out for a second ride. Yes, I'm very keen, 2 rides in one day. Headed out to Prioritises, which is a little town slash village on the outskirts of the valleys, or at least that's where I would class it anyway. It's the famous birthplace of Richard Burton. You could see on the side of a building there. Great piece of artwork actually, and there's actually a sign there with some other names on too. It's also famous for having a lot of these kind of viaduct bridges which you could cycle over. Some of them are pedestrianised. And this kind of whole area is really big with mountain bikers. Bike Park Wales is just up there, up the valley a little bit. There's lots of gravel around and there's lots of great places to explore, I think on 2 wheels and on foot. But I was actually taking part in an unofficial gravel hill climb championships organised by David Lloyd. And it had a good number of people show up to it. It was kind of like a charity event, raising a little bit of money for Kidney Wales. And I was invited along and I thought, well, you know what, I can ride there and I can do the event and I can also discover a new climb. So what's there not to like about this thing? So I headed out And this is actually the first part of the mast climb, which is around about 4 kilometers at 6-7%. The first kilometer and a half though is super steep, like well over that 6% average. And so it was quite slow going, but I was on my Factor LS, I was on my gravel bike, and I was still running the same kind of setup that I rode in Switzerland, apart from the small change in my pedals. I was now running my road pedals. This is the first time I've actually put my road pedals on my gravel bike, and boy oh boy did I feel like it made a difference versus running with like the mountain bike cleat and the the off-road shoes that have a little bit of flex in them. Well, actually they have a lot of flex in them compared to road shoes with carbon fiber soles, and I did feel like it made a heck of a difference. So if you're thinking about ever running road shoes and you can get away with it, like you don't have to do a lot of walking, I would highly recommend it actually. So this climb, it took me, I think it was just under 12 minutes to complete, and everyone was kind of like saying to me that I should definitely try and get the KOM. It's a relatively well-known climb around here, and I've never done it before, and I was well keen. And apparently the person that had the KOM was on an electric mountain bike. That's the rumor, so I've been told. So I didn't really have it in my head to all I wanted to do was just give a really good effort. So I was happy with my effort. It was my first ever gravel hill climb. I definitely think there's a call for something like this because, you know, it's so quiet and peaceful, apart from, you know, the heavy breathing. But there was quite a few of us there. There was like 12 of us, I think, all different abilities. There was a couple of ladies there and an older gentleman on electric electric mountain bike, and they were like loving it because they got a chance to, you know, still do the event and also be able to, well, like use the e-bike, right, and still get up there. So it was pretty cool to be a part of it, and to be honest, I've got to come back when the views are a little bit better than this, because you literally couldn't see. It was like pea soup, as the saying goes.
Well, I can't see anything. Apparently some spectacular views up here. That's got everything you need for a hill climb. It's even got a portable toilet back by the mast. Like I said, everything you could ask for.
So I'm going to end the video here with some footage of the descent. It's a pretty accessible climb to get to, I would say. If you're ever down this way, you're at Bike Park Wales, this is literally just down the road, okay? It's like, I would say 5-10 minute ride away from Bike Park Wales. You can either park there if you're hanging out there for the day, or you can park in Pontrhydy Fen. There's a great car park there as well. But you're talking like 10 minutes off the motorway, so if you're traveling from England or anywhere else, I would say this is well worth a go if you're into climbing, or if you're just into really good descents, because the descent was, I would say, better than the climb. Like there was some flat sections you had to press on and ride, but to be honest, like it was kind of like being in the Alps, and the flow of the actual, like the road, the direction, it was just very nice, and also quite technical, of course, because of the gravel. So really good fun. Enjoy bringing it to you. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Hey!